afternoon, everyone. This is Jared RAND. That crazy time difference got me. I apologize for that. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for March 9, Sunday. Of course, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern? It's hour ahead, 2:25, I guess. That would make it an hour later. If I had my way, they would just get rid of this daylight savings time, and we would be on a symmetrical time zone around for the whole country. Someone might ask the question, what is what is God? Well, you could answer it in many ways. The source of God is the foundation of your very being. It is your essential essence, your true life force, and the very fabric of your soul. And this is what we're, as a civilization, moving towards. When we can fully relax inside ourselves, we create room to fully connect with this divine source, from which every life experience emanates. The deeper you can let go and rest into the body and mind, the deeper you dive down the rabbit hole, discovering that this experience of God is the foundational truth of who and what all of us really are. When we fully realize that God exists inside us, there is a feeling of deep relief like nothing we've ever experienced in our entire lives. It's as if we were holding our breath underwater all this time. You ever done that? You ever been underwater and holding your breath? You know, it could be whatever. And then, of course, you know you got to go to the surface and take in a lot of air. We feel like we can take in life in its totality with such a great lightness and buoyancy that we often feel like we're floating on air. To lift our consciousness is to ground it deeply. And to do this, all that is needed is a state of surrender. To completely surrender means you are not only willing to let go of your mind and every thought inside your mind, yet that willingness is also relieved of its duty. You have completely let go. Now, this is a continual process, a perpetual release every day. When you no longer are holding on tight to anything, your ego's desires move to the back burner of the stove of your life, and you trust the synchronistic flow of this universe instead. Your ego desires move to the back burner of the stove of your life, and you trust the synchronistic flow of this universe instead. Trust takes the front burner over desire, and you choose to surrender to each experience, not because you have to, but because it feels so good. There is this constant merging with what is that feels lighter and more free on the inside. And from this place, whatever we want is what God wants. Our will becomes God's will, and God's will becomes our will. We become grounded in the divine reality. This grounded, enlightened state only happens through total continuous state of surrender. So the big question is for you to ask yourself today is, what causes you, what causes any of us not to be grounded in God? What choices are we making that aren't allowing us to enjoy our lives, relax into our bodies, and trust the divine? This is a unique and personal answer for everyone. Yet there's a 99% chance it has something to do with being wrapped up in attachment to desire. Attachment to any one desire is what makes us think that we are separate from God. Being in deep desire makes us think we need to go someplace better, have more money and things, become a better person, being, also that we can eventually find happiness, fulfillment, and peace later on. Desiring all these things makes us reach, push, and lunge out for that carrot and overlook the God source that is already within us here now. Desire is a tricky thing because we also need desire to keep life alive, flowing and karmically moving. And without desires, we would all become sleeping slugs in puddles of warm mud. Picture that scene. Now, this may sound nice to some of us, yet honestly, how many years can one really enjoy this? The discovery to having a great relationship with your desires is trusting that all your wishes are also God's wishes for you. Know that this universe is a team player who is on your team, doing everything necessary to manifest your needs at the right time and place. Now, when you truly surrender and trust that the universe is always working for you, a lot of people think it's working against them. A lot of things are working against them. It's always working for you and never against you. And then you're able to relax fully inside your body, find a deeply grounded experience in the divine. It's like we come here and we go into these bodies. And the interesting part of it is that, we say that we rediscover, however you want to put it, that we're gods within these bodies, okay? And that the universe is our kind of like support, and it brings us everything we desire. And we learn how to do that. And, to embrace what? Ourselves, this life. Joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence. Embrace it all. And to discover that means that then everything comes to us. And I know that goes against the grain of how everybody on this planet for millions and billions of years has been taught to believe. But that's what we're really doing. That's what this is all about. Yes, we're creators. We experience. We create the experiences in this material physical life so we can learn. In other words, the gods that we are divine perfection. And what we continually do is in this material physical world is that we create our experiences every lifetime so that we can perfect our divine perfection. And along the way, we discover who and what we are, and we finally realize the fact that it's not about how we were taught to chase and grab and seek and have. It's the opposite. We are such omnipotently powerful supreme beings manifesting and abundant beings that never die. So we attract it because we've learned how to focus our thoughts, how to pinpoint things, how to move energy into form with the assistance of the universe so that we can have the things we desire. Doesn't that make sense? Why should you go without? Really? Well, you'll learn by going without. Well, sure you do. You learn about everything. But we've learned enough about that for a very long time. It's time to switch lanes, so to speak. They're both going the same direction. We switch lanes. And this lane happens to be that we discover our true power on what we've been fitted to be able to do in these bodies. You enter the body, you're an omnipotently powerful supreme being that never dies, okay? So we begin to recognize that, hey, wait a minute here. Why would I go out there and expend all this energy chasing things that I am not sure will be? Right? And get frustrated and irritated because I find that the ego mind is mastering humanity. It's the master of this civilization. It's not the heart mind, it's the ego mind. That's why everybody's in a race. It's always a race. You ever notice that? It's always a race. There's always a race. There's always something that has engaged humanity into a race. Why? Who gets there first? Who gets the carrot? And it's always a drive situation, rather than heart-mindedness would be what? Unity. All together. All together. Now that is a sight to see in a good way. Not separated, fractionated, right? Not at each other. Not in turmoil. Not judging skin color, religion, how you look, how you walk, how you talk. It's all ego mind. And we decide, there are those of us who decide that that's not our gig. It just isn't. It's not our gig. We don't do it. We've done it, sure. But, it's kind of like you bite into something and it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, and it takes forever to get rid of that taste. It's kind of like that. And then you get to the point where you say, I'm going to go this way. I really do. I want to find out the other side of this life. We've only been on one side of this life. What does the other side look like? Right? We've been heavily immersed in the ego mind. None of us are exempt from it. Right? Many times throughout many lifetimes. But just to be talking about this in this meditation is halfway there. Because we've identified the fact that we no longer wish to be master, servant to the master ego mind. We're not in a revengeful state, anger state, or anything. We just know this is enough. This is enough of this, and I'm deeply grateful for it. But now it's my turn to go into heart-mindedness. It's my turn to find out what I really can do in this life. I mean, I can manifest anything I desire. Right? And this is after you get rid of your guilt. You surrender your guilt, your worries and your stresses. Some of them you might have been carrying for lifetimes. And you make peace with yourself. And you develop a deeply eternal loving relationship with yourself. and your body. And then you find yourself relaxing. Like in this meditation, like all these meditations. We find a comfortable place. This isn't rocket science. You find a comfortable place without any outside distraction. You begin to relax into your body. And you become as still as a statue. As still as you can be, focused on your breath, the natural rhythm of your breath rising and falling. That's it. That's a form of prayer, the meditation. And it also is the only way that will afford you connection with the God within you. See, it's in silence that we discover the God within us. It's when all that flurry of stuff, when we're in ego mind, we have all that mind chatter, all that noise, all those thoughts, 60,000 plus a day. And it can get to you. It doesn't mean that most of us know what it is, but it does get to us. Say, the rhetoric, the noise, the haranguing, day in and day out, day in and day out. And a lot of people will do everything they can to escape it. Say, they will. They'll do anything they don't realize what they're doing. But why do you think we have, drug dependencies and, all kinds of hallucinogenic applications so that we can escape it? Drug addiction is a form of escape. Some of us, we remember we're in emotional bodies, highly emotional bodies. And so some of us we're just not outfitted to navigate it. So we turn to synthetics so that we forget about it, so that we can keep ourselves in some other place. And that's why it's done. Others of us forge ahead, usually fighting life, not flowing with it, not letting go of it. Someone might, if you ask someone to die every day so that they can be reborn, right? They'd freak out. Well, you crazy? Because that's such a fearful thing. But try it. You'd be amazed on how you feel. I mean, you're not literally doing it. And we're switching. You can feel it. The frequencies are much higher on this planet than they ever have been. The evil is being revealed at breakneck speed. Not just, see, it's the people are seeing this, which is paramount. I'm not talking about the leaders so much. I'm talking about the people. That's key. That the people, in some form of symmetrical way, are looking and seeing this transition. They're witnessing and experiencing it. And the transition is so clear, so unfettered, that they can't debate it. Okay? All their avenues of debate have been eliminated. And so they begin to realize have you ever had the conversation with anybody where they might say to you, there's got to be more to life than this, right? I'm sure many of us have said that throughout the ages. There's got to be more to life than just the way it is now. There's got to be something better. And that's ego mind. Heart-mindedness is what? Everything is perfect exactly the way it is. And people go, well, you nuts? Look what's happening here, and this is going on that. How can it be perfect exactly the way it is? Well, the reason that you don't look at it that way is because of the fact that you're programming, and because you view things a certain way, which is not a negative, And it's just because of how you've been programmed. And we've been programmed to, what have we been programmed to be? What have we been programmed to be on this planet in this very now moment? Slaves. Slaves. Not only to the powers of authority, but also to ourselves. And I always say that it's all about you. It's all about you. You know, to embrace who and what you are, to go deep within yourself, to discover things that you have collected, not through judgment or coming down on yourself, but lovingly say, I don't care to have these things. I don't need them. They don't serve me the greater good. Yeah, I've carried them a long time, but they're not serving me the greater good, so therefore I don't care to have them. So I'm letting them go. I'm surrendering them. Once and for all. Give them the universe. I'm dropping them off. Right here in the next corner, I'm dropping them all off, never to be seen again. When we do that with ourselves, because we want to, and see, not because we have to, or we feel a duty or obligation, it's because we openly and lovingly want to. So we do. And then when we do that, we begin to open up to ourselves, right? We explore things that we're fearful about, that have kept us, maybe, kept us kind of contained when we've always wanted to be wild and free. But we've stayed contained because we're worried that society won't embrace us, that we won't be loved, we won't be tended to, we won't be cared for. So we embrace certain things. We're fearful if we don't. We won't be. And then when we come to a clarity with ourselves, not a judgment, an acceptance to say, I never knew who and what I was. That you're the God, you're pure consciousness. You're all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant being that never dies. And the irony to it is that a lot of us do not know that. We don't know it. We question ourselves, we doubt ourselves. None of us are exempt from that. We ridicule ourselves. We come down on ourselves. We're hard on ourselves. Why? We really did come here to enjoy our lives. Unbeknownst to popular demand, that's what we came here for. See, it's tainted because of so many interlopers that interfere with our flow. Okay, so we come to the planet, we come into these bodies, and we have no memory. And this is why we have been, in a way, as a civilization, retarded in our movement and flourishing instead of extincting. This is why. You know, when a civilization is fragmented, fractured, and it's been programmed in so many different ways for so very long, in so many generations, you can see, just by observing, the conflict within, and the conflict. When you have conflict within you, you're going to have conflict outside of you. When you have deep eternal love within you, you will have deep eternal love outside of you. It's proven fact. It isn't even debatable, even though the ego mind may debate it. Conflict is not our natural state of being. Never has been, never will be. It isn't. It disturbs our rhythm, our cosmic energetic rhythm. It disturbs it. It causes it to misfire. Now, a lot of the times we don't know that's what's happening, but that's what's happening. And remember, these are highly emotional bodies that we're in. So it's not difficult to get things skewed, where we're not sure of ourselves, where we don't really trust ourselves, where we have doubt about ourselves. And this grows. We have doubts about the universe. We have doubts about this. We have doubts about that. And as soon as we express doubt, what is the doubt? What's the root existence of doubt? Ego mind. Does doubt exist in heart-mindedness? No. Never will exist in heart-mindedness. Why not? Because heart-mindedness is peace, joy, love, tranquility, benevolence, kindness, generosity, humbleness. No noise, no mind chatter, doesn't exist. Fear doesn't exist. Worry and stress doesn't exist. That's all connected with ego mind. Now, ego mind's a great teacher, as I've said before, because it does teach us many things. And once we start identifying those ego mind thoughts that come in, and then we're able to say, and then we begin to set our intentions or our thoughts out to the universe. And then we pick up the fact that we have no doubt, we have no fear, we have full trust, confidence, and faith in ourselves and this universe. That's it. It'll be here. But most of us will kind of mess with it after we've sent it out. We'll mess with it, and then we'll start getting, second thoughts and doubts and stuff, and it's negated. Because we don't need to mess with it. All we need is that combination, that recipe, that formula, 100% faith, trust, and confidence in oneself in this universe, in a state of total peace and meditation, in the now, in heart-mindedness. That's when the magic happens. It's when it's always been the way it's happened. And see, this is the root decision that we're making right now on where we're going to go. And that means each and every one of us, where we're going to go. And now that has nothing to do with anything outside of you. It has everything to do of everything inside of you. When you're happy on the inside, you will attract happy people. When you are depressed, sad, distraught on the inside, you will attract distraught, sad, depressed on the outside people. When you're worried about this and worried about this and worried about this, you will attract more of that on the outside. It seems simple, doesn't it? Really does. But when you look at it and go, wow, that's not complicated at all. But yet, it is challenging, isn't it? Because we haven't practiced that. We practice the opposite. The simple thing of staying in gratitude 24 hours, right? No matter what, is a challenge. It's easy to be in gratitude when things are, perky-durky. But to be in gratitude when things aren't that great is a real challenge. One might say, I'm going to say I'm grateful for this very moment I'm in and look at all this crap that's happening. Well, that's kind of stupid. But it really isn't. It's our determination for ourselves on where we desire to be, where we want to be. And I don't believe that any of us, for long term, right, care to be slugs in more warm mud. It might feel good for a bit, but after that, it would just drive us crazy. And this is crucial on this planet. It is crucial with any civilization. And through heart-mindedness, deep eternal love for oneself is the power. It is the God power. It is the God force. It's what changes, it reconfigures, morphs, transforms anything. And nothing can stop it. Well, the only thing that can stop it is you. And we embrace it. This is how we create. It's like we look at our lives, we say, this is the life I want to live. But I love the life I have right now. And I want to live this life. So therefore, I will manifest the life I want to live. Has nothing to do with anybody else. Has nothing to do with anything out there. It's everything within. And you begin to manifest that life. Now, when you do that, you affect many others outside of you. One of us can influence millions. One of us. Now, are we going to debate how powerful that is? No, because it's omnipotently powerful. Do every one of us have that ability? Yes. But you're in physical material form, and you're convinced that you don't have that. Then it will just sit on the shelf within you. And you'll leave the body never knowing that you did have it. And it stares you in the face because you can look throughout the ages and see just one of us, what one of us was able to do and what one of us and how many we influenced. And obviously, there's both sides. There's both sides of the coin. There were those that influenced millions, but not in a positive way. And then there were those who influenced millions in a positive way. It always has the yin and yang, the balance. And when you realize, you know that with clarity and total awareness, you say, well, okay. So I practice being mindful of my thoughts because the thoughts are so powerful that we put out. Now, it's just a thought, right? But when we put a thought out and we put that energy into that thought, it becomes super powerful. This is why being mindful of your thoughts is so important and impactful for you and everything outside of you. So it just depends on our choice. What choice are we making? What direction are we going? I don't believe that we are in the direction of self-annihilation. I believe that there are those on this planet that are. Remember, yin and yang. But I don't believe that the majority of the people on this planet are in self-annihilation. I believe that they are in flourishing, expanding, and growing. In a unity, in a togetherness. Because separation is an illusion. It always has been. None of us are separate. That's why I always use the analogy of the drop of the golden ocean. You have the drop. The drop contains the essence of that ocean. When the drop goes into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. When we say that we are the God within the body, that's the drop in the ocean. You hold the essence of that ocean, you are the ocean. You are the God. You are the pure consciousness. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And we come in here because of the circumstances, and we learn and we rediscover who and what we are. And when we have a lot more time in the body, that's pretty much a given, isn't it? That eventually we will all discover and embrace who and what we are in these bodies once and for all. And we will practice heart-mindedness. We will be in it. And this planet will become a God planet paradise. And it will be the power of the planet and the civilization, it will be so powerful that it will be immeasurable because it will be a total peace. Complete peace. No conflict, no aggression. All of that will vanish. And then, you get ones that will say, well, then you won't learn much. You go to a planet that's peaceful, it's a God planet paradise, you won't learn. That's not true. You'll learn a whole heck of a lot. But in a total different existence. We're always going to learn. We're always going to create. We're always going to experience. But isn't it's great that we have an awareness on where we're going to go with it? So in a quiet time of this meditation, focusing on, really, truly, this, what you want, right? What you want. Not what anybody else wants, what you want. And creating it. Focus on what you want and create it. That's not difficult. The only things that will cause it to stall is the influence of one's ego mind. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on the breath rising and falling. To be spiritually awake means you are fully present to this eternal celebration of life in each moment. There is no judgment about good, bad, or right, wrong. You are simply in a state of awe and gratitude for what is. This is a completely effortless task. Yet, even effortless is too much of a word to truly discover it. Go about your day even more freely, lightly, and effortlessly than you ever have in your entire life. Make celebration of existence the number one commitment throughout today. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Monday, March 10, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. Nor what's going on within you, nor outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.